All right, let's just jump right in. We're living in a time where your team could be scattered across what, 3 continents and 5 different time zones? Yeah. Leading that kind of workforce isn't just a new challenge, it's a completely different game. So today, we're going to break down how you lead across borders and turn that scattered group of people into one unified, high-impact force.
And let's start with this. This quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The physical distance between your team, that's just geography. You can't change it. But that feeling of being disconnected, of being isolated, well, that lands squarely on the shoulders of leadership. It's a really powerful way to frame this. Your real job is to close that human gap.
So, to navigate this new corporate battlefield, you're going to need a different map. We're actually going to borrow a battle-tested concept from the military called distributed operations. And look, this isn't just some clever metaphor. It's a proven strategic framework for how to win when your forces are spread all over the place.
So what are distributed operations, really? Well, imagine small, independent units all operating separately, but they're all laser-focused on one single common goal. Sound familiar? It should. That's your team in New York, your developer in Bangalore, and your marketing lead in Berlin, all driving towards the exact same product launch. They're not in the same room, but believe me, they're in the same fight.
Now here's where things get really interesting. We get so hung up on the tools, right? The Slacks, the Zooms, all the project management software. But the source material is crystal clear on this. Technology is not the problem. The real challenge, the true battlefield, is getting everyone from every single culture on the same tactical page, moving in perfect sync. That's the hard part.
So how in the world do you achieve that kind of synchronicity? Well, it all starts with communication. But I'm not just talking about, talking. It's about you becoming a kind of cultural translator, somebody who can decode all those little nuances that can literally make or break a project.
And this slide breaks it down perfectly. Think about it. In what we call low-context cultures, like in the US or Germany, people are super direct. The message is right there in the words. So a request sounds like, I need that budget analysis by 3 p.m. Boom. Simple. But in high-context cultures, say Japan or Brazil, it's way more nuanced. It's about the relationship. So that same request might sound more like, when you have a moment, could we look at the budget? The board is meeting this afternoon. See? The urgency is implied, it's not shouted. Getting that difference is your first huge strategic win. Which, of course, brings us to this critical difference. A regular manager just kind of expects everyone to adapt to their style. But a true global leader, they do the exact opposite. They act as the translator. They take the core mission and they recode it so it clicks, so it makes sense within each local culture. They aren't demanding you adapt to them, they're enabling everyone to understand the mission. And really, this is your ultimate objective. In the military, they call it the commander's intent. It's the why behind the mission. Your goal is to make that why so unbelievably clear that your team in Tokyo understands it just as deeply as your team in Texas. When they get the why, they can figure out the how in a way that works for them, for their culture. It's all about empowerment.
Okay, so you've cracked the communication code. Awesome. What's next? Well, the next challenge is operational. How do you lead a team you can't physically see? How do you keep the pace, the momentum, going when you can't just walk over to someone's desk and check in?
You know that old model of management by walking around? It's dead. It's officially obsolete. That was all about being present. The new reality? It's all about performance. You have to let go of seeing the process of work and shift your entire focus to seeing the results of that work. It's a huge mindset shift, moving from judging activity to judging outcomes.
So you have to establish a new battle rhythm. First, you've got to use asynchronous tools, things like shared docs, recorded briefings, to create a 24-hour work cycle. The mission has to be moving forward even while you're asleep. Second, you have to earn what the source calls the trust dividend. Micromanaging a remote team, it's a guaranteed mission killer. Don't do it. And third, practice what's called decentralized command. It's simple. Hire great people, give them a clear objective, and then get out of their way. Your job is to measure the outcome.
Now we get to the most human part of this whole challenge. We've talked strategy, we've talked operations, but what about the people? That feeling of being left out. This is the war against creating what the source calls second-class citizens in your own company.
And here it is. This is the main enemy of your distributed team, the isolation gap. It's that awful feeling your remote team members get that the real work, the important conversations, the big decisions are all happening back at headquarters without them. It is an absolute morale killer, and it will destroy your team's cohesion faster than anything. So how do you fight it? With a super simple but really powerful strategy called inclusion by design. And the rule is absolute. If one person is remote, everyone joins the meeting from their own computer. No exceptions. This levels the playing field instantly. No more side shots in the conference room that the remote person can't hear. Then, you actively rotate who's in charge of projects across different time zones. You distribute the power, the ownership, and the visibility.
And, the result of this isn't just a team that feels included. It's about building something much bigger, a global coalition of the willing. A team of people who are engaged, who are invested, because they know for a fact that they're a vital part of the mission, not just some satellite office on the org chart.
Okay, so let's put all these pieces together now. We've hit on culture, operations, and inclusion. And this isn't just a checklist of tactics. This is a roadmap for you to actually evolve your own leadership identity.
At the end of the day, leading a global workforce, it's like the final exam for a modern leader. It tests everything. Your ability to adapt, your ability to translate, to trust. It's the ultimate test of your strategic agility.
And the biggest lesson here might be that your effectiveness as a leader, your core leadership DNA, has absolutely nothing to do with that corner office or some fancy headquarters.
It's tied to a mission. Your ability to communicate that mission, to get people excited about it, and to clear the way for them to achieve it, that is where your real authority and your success comes from.
And this right here, this is what victory looks like in this new world. It's when you can guide a team of people you may have never even met in person, to achieve something so incredible they never even thought it was possible. That's when you know you've made the leap from being a local manager to a true global strategist. So we'll end with the question posed right in the source material, a question for you to take with you. Really look at how your team operates, your meetings, your communication, your deadlines. Is that battle rhythm built for your convenience as a manager, or is it truly, honestly designed to unleash the full 24-hour potential of your global team for maximum impact? Something to think about.